Microsoft Word offer a great spell checker. You'll notice that as you type a document, you'll often get some words appear with a red underline. This is informing you that there's a problem with that particular word. Now, if it's just the one or two that you come across, then there's a simple fix. You would move your mouse so it hovers over the top of the word that's underlined. For example, we can see this says the solar system and the word solar is misspelt. If you click the right mouse button over that word, the program will pop up a menu offering you some various choices of what it thinks it should be. And you can see the top one is exactly what I want it to be. And it gives me a short explanation about that word. It's like going through your own personal dictionary. If we just click on that, you'll see it changes the word and removes the red underline. Now, of course, if you've got many of these spelling mistakes, some people prefer to leave them till the end and then run the whole spell checker. And the way that you run the spell checker is you go to the review ribbon, and over at the far left is a button called Check Document. This will check for spelling and grammar. Click on this button and it will go through and bring up a panel on the right hand side. Now, we are using version 365. If you're on any version prior to 2016, then this panel will be in a dialog box that'll come up on your screen, but it works the same. Now, it's asking me that the corrections, there's 20 spelling and 2 grammar. Now, if I click on the spelling, what it will do, it will travel its way down through the document and it will stop on the first mistake it finds, and it highlights it and it shows you a portion of it in here. And here you can see that we've got our first spelling mistake. Now, it's given us the suggestion to be countless, which is correct. That's what I want it to be. It also gives me a few choices down here to ignore this, because maybe that's the name of a person and that is how I spell countless. In which case I could ignore once, or I could ask it to ignore it all the time. Now, if it is a name of a product, a person, then that may well come up as a spelling mistake, because of course that particular company name or product name will not necessarily be in a dictionary, so it will assume it's a spelling mistake. If it's not, then you can click this option, which is Add to Dictionary. Now remember, on this version I've got it in this panel down the side here, but if you've got an earlier version of Word, it will be in a dialog box. Now I want to accept what it's given me, so I'll click on that. It will then travel down to the next error, and it always tells me what the problem is. And here you can see it's telling me it's a repeated word. We've accidentally typed the word still twice. Down the bottom we can ignore it, or we can delete the repeated word. I shall delete that. It then comes on to the next one. Galaxy is what I want it to be. Tremendous, we'll accept that. Now here we've got a bit of a problem, is that the first suggestion, you'll see that the word we actually want is tiny, but they've spelt it with 3 N's. Now the problem with that is that it makes it very difficult for it to pick up the correct spelling in the dictionary. It's made its first suggestion here, which is not what I want. It's actually this miniature, minute, tiny. So I will click on that. I can continue through the document, getting it to correct all the spellings that it comes across. And then eventually, when we get to the very end, we've got another repeated word. I'll delete that. And this one. And this one. And then we've come down here and that's the end. Now it's ticked the box to say all of the spelling's been done. We've now got two grammar problems. If we click on that, it brings up what it thinks it should be. We've got this sentence here where it suggests changing it to the word an rather than a. Now if I don't want this, I can actually skip this by choosing this little arrow here. You can see I can go forward and back. I can just go to the next one. Now what it's telling me, the reason this has come up as a grammar error is I've got an extra space between the words. So I shall click on that to have a look to see why it's brought that up, and it tells me that usually words in a sentence should have only one space between them. If I agree with it, I click down here. I'll ignore that, and it tells me the spell check is complete. Click OK. Another useful feature of Word is the thesaurus. Now sometimes you type a word and you want to find another word that could mean the same. So for example, we might pick the word atmosphere. If I select the word atmosphere, all I did was double click on that word, come up to the button that says thesaurus, click on that, and what it does, it gives me a suggestion in the thesaurus. Atmosphere could be used as air, and it gives me other suggestions as well: sky, heaven, stratosphere, etc. Ambience as well, it's given me some words for that. So if I want it to be air, I could choose that as well. I actually leave it as that, so I'll ignore that. And that's a thesaurus.